All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm excited to be here as well. As she said, thank you. I am the Executive Director for Heart of Missouri Girls on the Run, and I'd like to tell you quickly about our program so you understand what that is. Girls on the Run is a youth empowerment program for girls in grades 3 through 8. Over the course of 10 weeks, girls come together and engage in lessons that help them to develop personal confidence, personal courage, competence, caring, and connection. And as part of the program, we also help girls learn to set and achieve goals. And we do that by helping them train to run a 5K. At the end of 10 weeks, the girls actually come together and complete a non-competitive 5K. And crossing that finish line is a tangible way for them to see the goal that they've been working toward come to fruition. Well, as the executive director for this organization and having been an elementary middle school teacher, I think I am here today to tell you why I think we need to empower young girls. Now you might wonder why. Well, one big reason is that women and girls make up half of our population. We need to be empowered. That's a good enough reason in and of itself. But other reasons for empowering girls include statistical research that shows that girls who are empowered are going to be more likely to engage in intentional decision making and therefore make better decisions for their lives that will lead to healthier families. Research also shows that empowered girls help our community economically. For every year of education a young girl gets, her future, what do you call that? Her future earnings go up 12%. That's the word I'm looking for, right there. So empowered girls mean a more economically stable community. But the biggest reason that we need to empower girls is simply because it is the right thing to do. Every human being deserves the right to be empowered and to be a meaningful, positive part of their community. So how are we going to do it? Well, before I tell you, I'm going to ask you ladies to think back to the last time you got together with your best girlfriends. And maybe you hadn't seen each other in a while. Think about it for just a second. What did you guys say to each other? Did you compliment your friend on her new hairstyle? Did you mention the weight loss you noticed that your friend had? Or did you happen to compliment your friend on her outfit or her new purse? These kinds of compliments are a very common way that women in our culture bond, much like cats grooming one another. And there's nothing wrong with it. But let's think about how that might impact young girls. What do we think about when we see these beautiful little girls like this? Often when we are introduced to young girls, our first comments are about their appearance. Aren't you cute? You're so adorable. Aren't you sweet? And while these are not bad things, they're not bad compliments, the problem is they tend to focus more on what these girls are than who they are. And girls tend to take compliments about their appearance to heart. And they don't necessarily have the skills to deal with what those compliments might mean to them. Girls who do not feel they measure up to the compliments about their appearance often end up developing low self-esteem and a negative body image. And this can lead to some pretty serious consequences: depression, self-injury, eating disorders, engaging in risky behaviors, and even suicide. So what can we do? Do we just simply stop complimenting girls? Well, I don't think that is the answer. I think what we need to do is learn how to compliment better. At Girls on the Run, we use a system called TLC Praise. When we see a girl doing something that deserves complimenting, we tell her what we're seeing, we label it, and then we celebrate it with her. So for example, let's say you see a couple of kids in the classroom and one girl's helping another girl with her homework. Our first inclination is to simply say, hey, thanks for helping. But with TLC Praise, you're going to go a little bit deeper. Jamie, I saw you helping Katie with that problem when she didn't understand it. You're telling her what you saw. Then you're going to label it. that shows that you care. Now the girl knows that the behavior that she is exhibiting is actually impacted by her. And then you're going to celebrate it. Thanks for helping. TLC praise is very specific. And when we use it, it helps to increase confidence, courage, and competence in girls. So let's take a look at it in action a little bit more. Here's this cute little girl. Our first inclination is probably to say, you look really pretty or you look really cute. But if we want her to know that it's not just about what she looks like, but it's about who she is, what we have to do is go a little deeper. I like the way you chose the different colors for your outfit today. You are really good at picking out colors. You look awesome. That's the way you can use TLC praise to be a little more specific. And kids, as you know, love to tell you about their new shoes, their new clothes. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But instead of just saying, those are pretty shoes, say, hey, you know, those shoes are really pretty, but I bet they can help you run fast. That's really awesome. Go a little deeper. Give them a little bit more about how those shoes are going to help them achieve. And of course, when we talk about bodies, it is so important to think about how we address girls. No girl wants to hear, well, you've gotten big. No. Instead, we want to tell girls how their changes in their body and the growth is benefiting them. Instead of saying you've gotten big, say, hey, you're tall enough to ride the roller coaster now. That's awesome. That way, she sees the benefits of the changes in her body rather than just the fact that her body has changed. And of course, I always think it's important for us to focus on the abilities the girls have to solve problems and stick with their tasks. Good job for working through that problem and not giving up. That shows that you're committed. Great work. When girls receive TLC praise, they develop confidence, courage, competence, and caring. And I think it's exhibited best by some words from a girl in our program. Last season, we had girls ask, how do you feel about yourself? One girl wrote, I had 0% confidence. Now I have 100,000% confidence. I feel like a queen. That's how much confidence I have. I think when a child writes something like this, it tells you that what you're doing is making a meaningful impact in her life. And TLC Praise will do that for kids. And let me tell you about this young lady. This is Elizabeth. I met Elizabeth when she was in 5th grade. When she first started the program, she was very shy. She had been bullied because of her size. And when it was time for us to do group discussions in our program, she would not speak up. She listened, but she wouldn't say much. And when it came time to go outside to run, she was a little reluctant because she wasn't ready to run. And she was afraid that everybody would think she was too slow. Then I had the privilege of going away and coming back a few weeks later, and I happened to notice something happening with Elizabeth. This child was blossoming. She was suddenly becoming more confident in herself. She began to offer up her opinions during group discussions. And when it came time to go outside to run, she developed enough personal confidence and courage that she was going to do this, that she looked forward to going out to practice running. On the day of the 5K, I asked her what her goal was, and she said, I'm going to finish this race. Well, all of the other girls had crossed the finish line at the race that day, except one, Elizabeth. She was the very last girl out on the course. And had it been the beginning of the season, before she had engaged in programming that used TLC Praise, she probably would have just given up and quit. But she did not. She kept going. She kept running. She kept pushing herself, because at that point she knew the only person she'd let down if she didn't finish that race was herself. And another thing happened. Her teammates were standing at the finish line and they were looking out over the course. Where's Elizabeth? When they saw her about 1/8 of a mile from the finish line, these girls instinctively ran out to her and they encircled her. And Elizabeth was no longer alone. Her face lit up And she finished that race with her team. They crossed that finish line together. This is what TLC Praise can do for girls. It teaches them to have personal courage and also to care and connect with others and to support one another. If you don't know how to compliment a girl, all you have to do is ask her. When we asked our girls to write down words that they would use to compliment their friends, they wrote all these awesome things. You're amazing. You're beautiful inside and out. You're beautiful, you're kind, you're strong. They know exactly what needs to be said. So just listen to them. Because when we start using TLC Praise to compliment girls, it changes the focus of what we value in those girls. And that in turn helps girls understand that they're valued more for who they are rather than what they are. And in the end, that's what really matters. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your time.